Hi, everyone. We're still working with strings this week, and I wanted to give you a little bit of clarity on the difference between compare to dot equals and the double equal sign when we are talking about strings. So when we're strings are objects, so if we want to see if they're equal, we should use the dot equals method instead of the double equals operator. That's because the product uses the wrong operator when comparing a string, such as using double equal when the equals method should be used instead. In Java, using double equals or not equal to compare two strings for equality actually compares two objects for equality, not their values. And that's really what this is implying, that you want to compare values. So to compare values or character by character in a string, use the dot equals method. Now, in addition, there's something called the compare to method. Now, in a compare to method, and I'm just going to list it out. So for compare to, you'll get a negative number when the first object has a lower ASCII value than the second object. You'll get a positive number when the first object has a higher ASCII value than the second object. And then you'll get a 0 when the first object and the second object are exactly the same, character by character. Okay, so that's my general statement about how the compare to works. So let's take a look at some code. And I'm giving you 3 different chunks of code that we will enable and disable for this assignment or for this video. So I have string hello world, H and W are capital. And then I have another string hello world, H and W are lowercase. Now, we're just going to focus on now, they both say the same thing, but clearly we can see the difference between upper and lowercase. Well, let's go compare H capitalized and H lowercase. So let's close that. Found something online. So if I look for H, it has a value of 72. I see lowercase h, it has a value of 104. So capital H, 72, is less than 104, so it will return a negative number. So when we do this comparison, it'll return a negative number. Now, this other compare to option says equals ignore case. When we run this one, it's basically saying ignore whether or not the H and the W are upper or lowercase. So they'll be on an even playing field. So they'll basically be equal. So that'll return a 0. Now, when we say object str equals string, so what that's doing is that's creating an object reference with the variable name objstr. It is now pointing to the same thing that str is pointing to. So in this statement here, we're basically saying print the object, which will be a string, or give me that string, and then compare it to this string. Well, they'll both be the same, so this will, they both are the same. So when we compile this, our answers will be negative, 0, and 0. Okay, now, if I switch this around and I said, let's just make one more. I'm gonna copy, oops. I'm gonna pause this. Okay, I'm back again. All right, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to repeat this, but I wanted to switch around which object is calling is in the beginning part of the comparison. So I'm going to put another string here and str here. So since lowercase h was over 100, 104 I think, and uppercase H was 72, this one's bigger than this one, so this time we'll get a positive number. I think this is the best way to learn and understand how these all work, is to just play around. And there you go. Okay, so I'm going to comment this little chunk out, and you'll get all this code like you have been along with the video. And let's try this one. Okay, this is where we're looking at the dot equals method. So here we're checking character by character for equality. S1 and S2 are truly equal, so this should give us a true. S2 and S3 are not equal because T and S are lowercase in S2, but uppercase in S3. So when we run this, we should get true and false. So that one's pretty simple, but it is following the Java norm where we're using the dot equals method to if we're truly looking to see if the two strings are equal to each other character by character. Now, finally, here's something that you just really shouldn't do, generally speaking. You should never say S1 is double equal to S2 because we're implying that we're checking for equality, but when we want to check objects for equality, we want to use the method for dot equals. This is just really not appropriate. Now, at the end of the day, when you do this, you happen to get the same answer that you got above, but I'm just advising you not to use double equals if you're trying to check for equality um, in strings. I'm going to pause this one more. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and as always, let me know if you're having any trouble with the auto grader. If you are, please send me your file. Tell me what assignment it is. I will run it offline and then update your score in Cengage. And also, if there are other assignments that you've redone, I'm not sure if it's always prompting me. So if you see some discrepancies in the grade book, could you please follow up? Because I'm usually grading things within 24 to 48 hours. So if you don't see your grade change after you've updated something or redone something, just shoot me a message so I can take a look. Okay? Thanks. Have a great week.